Good morning, everybody. As people are coming in, I just want to share my screen because I have a little PowerPoint. So can everyone see that? Yeah, I think so. Okay.
Yes.
So hi, my name is VexICutie, and this is my presentation, Hands-Free Door Opening Keychains and More. So if everyone's ready, I'll be ready to begin. So my name is Abigail Corella, and I am the host and founder of my YouTube channel, VexICutie. So at the beginning of every talk, someone goes on and on about all these colleges and majors and things that they've done that makes them quotable or makes them reliable. So I'm in here and telling you what I did. So I attended Pinecrest Academy South Campus from pre-K to 5th grade, home of the Pirates. And then for middle school, so I am currently in 7th grade and I am attending Pinecrest Preparatory Middle High, home of the Crocs. And I am interested in studying biomedical engineering in college, and I want to go to the University of California, Berkeley campus. Go Golden Bears. So I'd like to take a moment to thank all my teachers for their support. And so I have Mr. Keychains, Mrs. Becerra, and Mr. Zulueta, who are my engineering and robotics teachers in elementary school. And then I have Ms. Mas and Mr. Sanchez, who are my robotics teachers this year at middle school. So moving on to the next slide. So at the beginning of my channel, when I was in 2nd grade, I was given the opportunity to learn robotics at my elementary school. I immediately fell in love and joined the school's competition team. However, I noticed that when I was there was much more boys than girls in the club. And when we attended competitions, I noticed it was the same for other schools. So more boys, less girls. Why is this? And how can we fix this issue? And what can I personally do to make a difference? So on the left, there's a picture of me when I was in 2nd grade, surrounded by a whole bunch of teammates who happened to not be my same gender. And then after that, I realized that there was something I could do, create a strong, independent female role model for people to realize that robotics isn't just for boys. So I started a YouTube channel called VexICutie, and on that channel, I do tutorial type videos about how to build these kinds of robots. And I also do vlog type videos of events that I'm going to. So last year, I did one for Maker Faire Miami, and we're about to watch that. So let's see if it unpauses. There we go.
Hey guys, welcome to VexICutie. My name is Abby, and today we're at the Miami Maker Faire in downtown Miami, Florida. Let's take a look around. Exhibitors at Maker Faire Miami are really pumped about creating. How do I know? Because I was one of them at booth number 42. I got to tell people about this YouTube channel and show kids how to drive VexICutie robots. There were girls who left with excitement for robotics after first believing that it was just for boys. I even got to meet some of my heroes, including Andrea, the leader of BattleBot's Witch Doctor team.
And honestly, your booth has been one of my favorites because, you know, our team promotes like girls in robotics a lot because there's not enough of us and girls are so good at it.
John Park, who used to work for Disney's animation studios and now has a huge presence both online and on TV. So what do you feel about like the different amounts of girls and boys in robotics?
Yeah, right. Well, I think that everything we can do to get people of all kinds into robotics and engineering and creative building of things is important, and there aren't enough girls and women in engineering, in my opinion, and so a lot of what we're trying to do is increase that.
And Stephanie from YouTube's Stephanie Explains It All.
I made my first little robot for Halloween one day. I shared it on YouTube and I loved it, so I started making more of those things. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you feel about the whole girl power thing?
Ooh, I mean, we got it. I feel like we got it. We should just use it.
Like the saying, all good things must come to an end. I had a wonderful time here at the Miami Maker Faire, and I hope I get to come again next year. Bye!
So that's the video from last year, and now we're here at virtual Miami Maker Faire. So, and then here's some pictures. We have Mario on the left and Andrea on the right, and then my little character in the middle are telling you that those two are my heroes, because if it wasn't for Mario, this wouldn't be happening, and this has been a great event. And then also on the right, Andrea, because she's a captain of Witch Doctor, which is a BattleBot team, which is battling robots, which is amazing. And also she has my dream job of being a biomedical engineer. And then we have a Stephanie and John Park on the other slide. Let's move on. Okay, so after Make for Miami 2019, Mario told me to keep in touch, and I did. A couple months later, I emailed him and asked if he wanted to come to my elementary school's career day, and he came and he shared all his knowledge about technology with my classmates, and we had so much fun. And I like to take another moment to thank him for all of that, for his for him coming and stuff, because that was great. So middle school, what I'm doing now is a little different than what I used to be doing because the robots are made of metal. And also the field is a little bit bigger and we're going against each other. There's so many little tiny differences, but I just want to prove that I'm still in robotics at school and I'm doing VexICue at home and Vex at school. So it's a little different, but it's required the same kind of fundamentals. So as you can see on the picture on the right, there's a whole bunch of high school boys, and I'm the tiny little girl, second from the left. And as you can see, we still got a little work for that girl-powered thing, but we're making some progress. And right at that moment, I was in second place at the competition. So, so staying playing. I was asked by Ali Weber a couple months ago to do a video for her amazing program, Staying Playing. Stay and Play programs helps kids at home with fun, easy STEM educational projects given by young scientist makers and STEM advocates. And we'll make a video, she'll post it on the Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube channel. And then everyone can see those videos and take inspiration to keep playing and learning, even though we're stuck inside. So for my video, I showed people how to make a catapult. So I originally made one out of VexICue pieces to launch an orange ball at my dog so they can play fetch. But I know a lot of people at home didn't have VexICue, so I showed them how to make a similar model out of popsicle sticks. And then there's my video right there. It's still on Instagram to this date, so if you want to check it out, it's really cool. So 3D printing. After I did the Stay and Plan, I was like, what could I do? Because what she's doing is amazing, and I wanted to make some kind of difference. I realized that I had a 3D printer, so I started printing these hands-free, door-opening keychains to keep my friends and family safe. So you're all here for the 3D print, so let's talk about it more. So if we move on to the next slide. So why would I print these things? The average person can touch their face up to 3,000 times in one day. So keeping the hands you touch with clean is super important. And using a tool like the ones I'm printing can keep you safe. So how they work is pretty simple. The tip is used for pressing buttons like a light switch or like an elevator button. And the hook can hook onto door handles or drawers or cabinets. And your finger kind of loops around here, and it has a little keychain on the end so you can attach it to like your keys or like a lanyard. On the next slide? Okay. So in the picture on the left, I show it shutting off a light switch, and on the right, it's opening a door, just to prove how versatile a device like this would be. So the process of how I print it. So first, I have to decide on the colors. So I currently have 4 colors. I started with 5, but then I used a whole roll of orange. And then I'll lay down matte liner because my printer, I have the XYZ printing mini maker, DaVinci. And it has a small mat, so I can put like a matte liner that comes with it, or I just kind of put masking tape because it works the same way. And then I'll lay some glue stick, just like a regular Elmer's glue stick on it to prevent it from sticking. If it so it sticks, so it doesn't move around during the print. And then for a print of about 3 of these takes about 4 to 6 hours. So I'll just hit the print button and kind of walk away. Check on it every now and then to make sure it's not messing up. And then packaging, I will wipe down each and every keychain and disinfect it with a wipe. And then I'll put the little keychain thing on, which keeps it so that it's super easy to carry around. And then I'll put each of them in a single-use plastic bag after they've been disinfected, so of course they're safe. So let's go make a keychain. So yesterday I wanted to look into different models and types that I could print. So if we stop sharing the screen, I'll share it again with the different, escape. There we go. So I need to go. So on Thingiverse, it's just this open platform for finding 3D models that you can print. So I can search in here like door opening keychain, And then if I search that, a whole bunch of options come up. So I'm going to show you a couple of these and why the model that I'm printing would be, in some cases, superior. So let's look at something like this. So this would be called the Ultimate COVID-19 Door Opener. And the reason this wouldn't be as successful as the ones that I'm printing, although it has a crossbar and a push bar opener on the side, it's a lot bigger, so I can print less at a time, which wouldn't be useful for mass producing them to give out to everyone who needs. So that one won't work. Let's look for some others. We have this one. So this is called the Hygiene Key. And this one doesn't work as well because the hole on the end is a little bit too small, so I don't think it'll fit the keychains that I'm using. And also, it doesn't have the button pusher on the end, and it's curved, so it might not hold as well. So let's look for another one. As I'm scrolling down here, I'm looking at a couple of the designs. Something like this looks cool. Doesn't have a keychain hole in it though, so I'm not sure if it'll work with my keychains. You see how it's a similar model where you would hold it and you can open and push doors, but it doesn't have the hole for a keychain. So we can of course add that on, but I want to see if I can find one that's perfect. This looks very similar to mine. That one looks good. So I'll show you how I would cut something like this. Print something like this. So it's similar, it looks similar size to mine. So let's print it and just see what happens. So if I go to Thing Files, I can download the file. I can either download the regular one or the reinforced one. So the difference is, they're pretty much the same, except for the reinforced one are stronger, so they won't break as easily, but they do take a little longer to print, depending on the size, of course. So I think I'm just gonna go with the regular one for now. And I download it, and then if I stop sharing my screen and share my software, I'm using the XYZ print that goes with my printer. Of course, you'd use the software that's best for your printer. And I kind of just put a couple of this one down, so I can fit about 4. I can fit of these ones, little 3, so maybe that might be better. So as I print them, let me stop my screen so you guys can see bigger. I printed a couple of these last night just to see. And although they looked the same, when I printed them, they're like about 2 times too small. So of course you could fix this by changing that, and I'll show you how to do that later. But the point is, you can't always look on just what it looks like when you see it on the file. They're much different and smaller. So if I were to go back to the software, I can show you how to make them a little bigger. So to start off, I would take away that extra one because it's, where's the delete button? There it is. So that one won't fit if you make them a little bit bigger. So I can just go in here and I can change this, the XYZ axes. So I'll change from 20 to a little lower, and you can see how it changes the entire thing, so you can kind of decide what size works best for you. So it was before at 20, and you kind of have to lift it up again and scale it however you'd like it. But if you scale to the right size that you want, you can figure something out that's a little bigger. So you see how I made this one just a tiny bit bigger. That'll be a little bit better for my needs. And then I just do each one like that. So to scale, I can change this up a little bit till it gets too big or too small, and then I can set that one and it becomes just a little bit big. Well, actually I think that one's too small. Let's make it a little bit bigger. And they'll also be the same size, of course, but you can try different sizes out on one print and see which one works best for you and your needs. But let's see. So as you can see, it's pretty simple. And then once I decide on what I'm printing, like what size, what model, that kind of thing, I will usually have to lay down some just tape. I lay down tape, depends on your printer. Some printers don't need this, mine does. And then I'll lay down some Elmer's glue just to keep the print stuck down. But let's say after it printed, I'm gonna show you how I get them off, because they get stuck down because of the glue. You can kind of just pry it off, but it has this little white residue, so I'd wipe that off with a Clorox wipe and then put on its keychain. But these are a little small, so of course I have to fix that. So I pick the color if I'm printing before I print. So I have purple on now, but if I wanted to change what color, so let's say I wanted to do, let's do blue. So I start with blue here. It's like a really dark blue, so it almost looks like it's not there, but let's share my screen back to this printing software. And let's say I want to change my color. I can go to the dashboard and unload the filament, which takes a little bit. So let's start that going. It's just going to heat up the nozzle and shoot the filament back up into the roll so we can change it out. So when it does, you lose a little bit of filament because it tears off the end to keep it from getting stuck, but it's worth it if you want different colors on your prints, which I do because it keeps a nice variety and makes people happy. So I originally started with just orange and green, and then I used all of my orange, and I still have a little bit of green left, but I purchased some other colors because I like colors. So I started with just this green, which is transparent, well, translucent technically. You can kind of see through it, but the other ones are opaque. And I like that one for it because it gives a more like see-through look. You can kind of see your hand through, which is really cool. But then we have this pink color, which is it's opaque as well, but it looks really cool when it's done printing because it's like a really bright pink, kind of like the one that's on the screen. And although it looks pink on the screen, that would technically print in whatever color we have loaded, so it would be purple. And then this is blue. It's a little dark. It's a really dark blue. I think it looks kind of like a purple, but in some cases. And then we have a purple, which is a little lighter. Purple is my favorite color, and it's the color of my brand, so I had to purchase that. So it should be extruding. Oh, it says that it's not working. So we'll do that later, I guess. So if I were to stop the share, so let's get back to the PowerPoint. Give me a second. Where is it? There we go. Sorry, technical difficulties on my end. There we go, I figured it out. There we go. And I'll present. Okay, so let's go make a keychain. That's what we just did. I showed you how I would design it and how I would go from a model to an actual print. So let's move on to the next one. So noticeable learning opportunities I learned along the way. So if you open a push door by pulling, they break. Didn't know that, now I know. But the way you do that would be printing reinforced ones so they don't break as easily, but just don't open a push door by pulling. And then I gave a couple to the teachers at my school, and one of the teachers had their dog bite off the tip. So it is not a chew toy. Didn't know that, now we know. And then also I learned, I was originally printing just one keychain at a time, and now I'm printing up to 3 or 4. So although the print time is longer, you end up getting more keychains. And then colors, like I said, I purchased 3 more colors for each. I printed 3 more colors, so now I have the blue and the purple and stuff. So these are just a couple people that I've given them to. So I made an Instagram post, and Nova IQ Robotics sent me a comment, so I just sent a couple up to them. And then, so, like I said, I gave a couple to my teachers at my school, so that's a couple pictures of them. And then we have my aunt and my godmother, who's using her keychain at Target, showing how you could use it on the pin pad and opening the door at her office building. And then we have my uncle, Jeffrey, using his keychain, and he says that he uses it all the time when he goes to the grocery store. So it's nice that what I'm doing is making a difference to everyone that I know and love. So if we keep moving on to the next slide, if you want a free keychain, I'm giving out the first 20 people to complete the Google form at tinyurl.com/VexICutie keychain. You can, if you fill out that Google form, the first 20 people to complete it will get a free keychain sent to their door. I wanted to help as many people as possible, so I felt this would be the best way. So first 20 people, one will be sent in a white envelope. Trust me, it won't be a tiny one. But you can use them, and they're super fun, and not only are they fun, they're useful, and they can keep you safe. So the first 20 people to complete that form will get 1 free sent to their mail, so no need to pay for anything. I've also seen these kind of being sent to, you can purchase them from like online websites for up to like $20 for one made of acrylic, when I'm giving this one for you for free. So just complete the Google form at tinyurl.com/VexICutie keychain for a chance to win a free keychain. So if we move on to the next slide, I cannot finish a talk or a workshop without giving myself a shameless plug. So please, if you're not already, follow me on Instagram and on YouTube. Both are just VexICutie, and you can search me up in the search bar and you can find me. And we have super fun times over there. And I also want to show you a couple other things that I've 3D printed other than, of course, the keychains. So I did a, this is a hand sanitizer holder that just says sanitizer on it. So I liked the scent and the use of this hand sanitizer, but it didn't go on my lanyard like the ones from Bath & Body Works, so I kind of just made one using just a cylinder with sanitizer on it, if you can see it. And then I have one of these on my lanyard. And then other than COVID items, I've been just printing these little Legos. So I printed them in all my colors, so they're nice and cute. But I learned how to print 2-color prints. So there's ones that are pink and orange, and I handed these to my mom one day and told her to break them apart. She spent about 10 minutes before I told her you can't break them apart because they are fused with 3D printed material. And then other than Legos, I printed a toothbrush holder. Me and my sister worked together on this one, and it just says toothbrush across the top, and you can put 4 things. 4 little toothbrushes or flossers or whatever. And the reason I'm giving you these ideas is so even if you don't have a 3D printer, you can do all this crazy stuff. You just kind of have to think of a way that you can help people around you. And if you do have a 3D printer, this is the best way that I've found to help people. So we're done. So if you have any questions in the Q&A.
So we have some questions already come in. First of all, I guess you already answered it, but how long does it take to print a keychain? So if you're printing 3 or 4 at a time, how long does it take to print one? If you were just printing one?
So, one of them takes about 30 minutes, depending on the size. So one of these took 20 minutes because they're small, but one would take 30 minutes. And then if I would do 3, it takes about a couple hours, so 2 or 3 hours.
The next question that came in is, how did you get started in making? How did you get started in building these things?
So I had a 3D printer there that my sister had gotten for Christmas one year, and I kind of was just looking into what I could make, seeing videos of people helping people making masks or the face shields. And I said, what could I make? And obviously I have a small printer, it's mostly for household use, so I don't have enough space in my printer to make a shield because it's too big. So I thought, what's something small that I can give out to people that still keeps them safe? And these came up on my Thingiverse feed, and I started printing them.
Okay. I think one of the questions that came online was, how did you get into the robotics competition? So how did you get, what led you to do that?
We offered VexICutie, which was what I'm doing. And after a little bit of just kind of cruising around in the club, and we took a class on it, I decided that this is what I wanted to do. So I joined their competition team and went to competitions. But then at my middle school, after I had done VexICutie, I did the summer camp for Vex, and I loved it even more because there's so much crazy things you can do. So that's what I'm doing now.
I guess the next question is, are you, so I don't know if you know this, but obviously a Moonlighter and Make It from Miami, we're actually doing a whole bunch of things for PPE. So they're asking you, are you reporting your PPE production with any of the maker communities?
Currently, I'm just doing this by myself with my 3D printer, but I would be so interested in helping in many ways I can.
Yeah, I'll reach out to you again after this, and so maybe we can add you to our things that we're doing at Moonlighter Makerspace and part of the PPE production that we've done. Okay, let me see. The next question is, what are you building next? Is your next question. What are you working on next? What's your next big build?
So mostly, I've just been kind of working on the games for Vex with my school, but of course, because of current situations, that's not going to be super easy. So I will continue 3D printing in any way I can, whether it's making the little ear savers. I've made some of those in the past. I've done more keychains, obviously. And then once this is all over, I plan on just 3D printing things that make me happy. So like the Legos are super fun and things like that.
I guess another question for Stephen here is, what are you doing to help continue to see women grow in robotics? I know that last year, I had Andrea, you meet Andrea, and I know you talked to Andrea. What are the things, she gets this question all the time, so now you're gonna get that question all the time. What can you do to get more girls involved in robotics now? Especially now during COVID, and during COVID. So two parts to that question.
Getting them involved in robotics, you have to provide them with someone that they can look up at and be like, yeah, I wanna be like that. So that's why I started my YouTube channel. Like Andrea, Stephanie, all these crazy people who are females in robotics, you can look up at them and be like, whoa, and be super interested in just the fact that all these things are options that you can do.
How can we help continue that during this COVID during COVID and the pandemic?
Whether you want to start making videos or just 3D printing stuff like I am, you can become and support these kinds of programs that are supporting young female or even grown female makers.
Okay, another question just came in. Any ideas on how to get other young adults interested in making? Like, what are some other things you think we can get other young adults interested in making?
This is a funny one, but just kind of make it cool. If you're the cool kid and you're doing making, everyone will want to be like you. You know what I mean? So just creating a YouTube channel like this and making fun stuff and helping people, naturally people are going to want to help people too, just to kind of, you know, stick with the trends.
Did you get to compete last year, or was it cut short because of COVID?
We competed, we did up to states, but then Worlds was turned virtual, so we didn't get to really do that, but we competed up to states, and then the Worlds was turned virtual, so we didn't really get to go anywhere.
Do you have a coding like club in your school? Are you part of that coding club? I have another question here.
We do have a robotics club, which I'm participating in, and they do have like a coding club, I think, like Girls Who Code. I am currently not participating in that, but I will look into it.
Awesome. Let me see any other questions on the app. Give me a second.
And still on that question, although I'm not taking a coding club, I do take like a robotics class, and I'm taking Flight in Space this year, which is a PLCW.
Awesome. I think that's it. I mean, let me see if any questions coming. Anybody want to ask another question? Somebody raise their hand. I don't know if somebody wants to answer a question live here. Oh, sorry. So if you can, here's what I'll do is, Abby, can you talk about where they can follow you? I know that we have here some places. So, you know, can you share some of your projects links? So I know that you have stuff on Instagram, you have stuff on YouTube. Can you repeat those? People are asking those, and if you do that, I'll type them in on the chat so people have them.
Okay, can we go back a slide? So my Instagram would be, if we can put that in the chat.
Yeah, share it so everybody can see it, and I'm going to post it in the chat at the same time.
So it's right there at the top. It's just VexICutie on Instagram, and it's kind of really small here. So it's just VexICutie, which is just Instagram.com/VexICutie, and then I also have YouTube.com/VexICutie, and you can go to any of those, follow me, subscribe, hopefully, and kind of see all my projects that I'm doing. I see we have 2 people who raised their hand. I don't know how to do that, but
I can. I mean, if they want to, well, we can see if they want to answer a question here. So, Kathy, I'm going to allow you to talk, so you should be able to ask VexICutie a question. Let's see if she asked a question. Kathy?
Kathy?
Give her a second.
So while we're waiting for her, I'll see if I can figure out the issue with my 3D printer.
Yeah, I'm gonna post while we're waiting for her. I'm gonna post your links. Okay. So I just posted your Instagram link, and I'll post your YouTube link right now.
There you go. I figured out the 3D printing issue. It noticed that there was something here, so I had to kind of pull it off.
Anybody want to ask? See 3 attendees. Let's start. I'm gonna Karen. Karen, if you want to ask Abigail VexICutie a question, there you go, Karen. You should speak.
Hi. I just wanted to say hi to my cousin Abby.
That's awesome.
Hi, Abby.
You have a question for Abby?
No, I just really wanted to say hi because I haven't seen her in a while.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you. So we just unloaded the filament now. It finally worked. So is there anyone else, or I think we're good? So I'll load
have
up.
one more.
Let's load it. I'm going to show you guys how I would load up a color. So I'll just kind of put it in. There's a little rack here.
We're going to try Carol. Carol, do you have a question for Abby?
Yes, hi. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, what a miracle. I was just wondering, Abby, what's a great age for a kid to start doing this stuff, like the VexIQ and?
So most schools start at about second grade if you have a school that does it, or if you want to do more personally. I don't think there's like a certain defined age, but you can definitely start pretty much at any age, just getting them interested in STEM and technology and engineering. And then 3D printing, of course, there's hot plastic, so you can, if you're supervised, starting at about like, I started at this year, so kind of any age really works, as long as you're supervising, of course.
Abby, folks are asking some questions that I think are in your PowerPoint. So if you can, after this, if you can share your PowerPoint with me, I'm going to add it to her inside the Q&A for her post, so that basically you can have access to her PowerPoint also. So
Okay.
when, after this talk, she'll send me a PDF. So again, I'm posting this video later today. So later today, you can go to our YouTube channel and see that. And inside the chat, I post a link to the YouTube channel after a couple hours of this talk. So I guess somebody asked, are you doing any fundraising to help you print these keychains?
Currently, I'm not doing any fundraising. Everything is just coming out of pocket. It hasn't been too much of a problem, and I enjoy doing it, so it's more of a hobby than something that I want to have anyone put in anything in case something goes wrong.
Okay, let me see.
So all this is just my way to give back, and I don't want to take anything in and then,
Here's another one that just came in. Do you have any other people you follow online that you like to promote? Any other makers that you think are worthy of following?
Obviously, anyone that I mentioned here. So we have Mario and Mike from Miami. They have both YouTube channels. And Stephanie, I mentioned her. John, he works for Adafruit. And of course, Andrea, her and Witch Doctor have a YouTube channel.
And for those that don't know, yesterday we had all women BattleBot panel. So all women captains had a panel yesterday, and that's been posted. So if you want to see an all women panel talk about BattleBots and building bots and being on TV, that has been posted also. So if you go out to the agenda, you'll see the link to that post. And again, most of them, we have 2 out of South Florida in that panel. So again, if you want to follow them. Also, the folks that you talked about also had talks. A lot of them had talks yesterday. Some have talks today. Like Stephanie, Ali Weber, which she talked about staying and playing, has a talk today. So you can see them today, and you can see all what they're doing. There was also an all-women panel later that has Jen, Ali, Stephanie, I'm missing somebody, and Sophie. So those are on there. You can watch the pre-recorded video today of those, and so you can come loaded with all your questions to ask. There's another Kathy here. Let's see if Kathy has a question for you. Let's see, Kathy.
Hello.
Yeah, let's see if she comes up. See, another one came in. So A. Walters, which is, I met him this morning, he's asking if you would be able to make virtual presentations to our makerspace to young adults in New England. Yes, Abe, you have my information. I will get you connected with VexICutie Abby and her manager, which is her mom. I'll make that all happen. So you have all my information, Abe, so send me that information and I'll get you all set up. So she's pretty awesome, and she actually does a lot of talks. That's why when she asked me to go talk at her school, I always do that, because she always comes to talk for us. So no problem. So Abe, yeah, send me that information, Abe, and I'll get that to you. I can't turn your mic on because it says you have an old version of Zoom. Let me see. That's live. Done. They're asking if you have any other projects you recommend for 3D printing for kids, like any other things you've done that's pretty cool for 3D printers.
So the limits of 3D printing are pretty much endless. You can design your own things and kind of print them. But like what I've been doing with Legos is super cool because they can play with it after they're finished. Even just printing like tiny little figurines. You can print anything on a printer as long as you can find the model or make your own model. So it's pretty easy to, if you have a 3D printer, kind of just make whatever you want. So.
Okay. And then for the folks that were asking, I posted now the Instagram and her YouTube channel inside the chat. So you can go there and do that. Let me see. I think that's it. And if anybody has other questions, oh, let me see, done. If anybody has other questions, you can put it in the chat or in the Q&A. Again, I would follow VexICutie or Abby inside her YouTube channel. She has a lot of great things. On Instagram, she talked about staying and playing. You should watch her staying and playing. If you're interested in what Abby's talking about here today, we have Elijah spoke yesterday. He was from Staying and Playing also. We have Ali Weber later today. She's the one that sort of coordinated Staying and Playing. We have the BattleBot panelists from the women's all captain teams that is on the panel already from yesterday. And we have a whole bunch of great talks today from other females that are making amazing things. So I think that's it. If you want to say a couple things to close it out, Abby, it's all yours.
Well, we fixed the 3D printer now. It was just a tiny little issue, but my PowerPoint's done, and if no one has any questions, good. So make sure you do the Google form if you want one and stuff like that. But
awesome. Thank you again, Abby. Thank you for being here, and thank you for always responding to my emails, and thank you to your mom for making sure that you guys got up early, that we had to test all our technology. She will be sending me her PowerPoint, and I will be posting that also inside the chat and inside the document center of the app. So you'll have all that there together. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Please come to other talks. Everybody's saying great job, Abby, inside the chat. So I concur, great job, like always. Thank you for everything. I hope to see you in person when this is all done, and hope to see you at the next Maker Faire. Bye, guys. Have a great day. Hope to see you later.
bye.